Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
This is the bar class, more specifically presses with kettlebells or wood clubs if you're brand new to the practice, and those pliés for the lower body mobility. We'll start with Lauren's class foot warm up, shake it out and get those legs going too. Stay tuned for stretch and strength strategies for you to do with your bar or your chair on the wall. Let's start.
Now,
excellent.
Let's start at the feet. So as usual, we have our feet under the floor, gripping the floor, toes are nice and spread out. Go ahead and look down and have a peek. Could you spread out your toes, seeing the floor between each toe, even that baby, try to spread it out. Now, balls of foot are connected, heels are lightly down. Let's squeeze these cheeks, brace these abs, and then push down into the floor, keeping those toes connected and coming up. Next, we'll come down to one, and then press back up, and down to one, and back up. Alternating this march, the whole time, could you keep that cheek squeezed as the leg stays nice and straight? This time we'll go up, we'll come down, we'll use our toes to point, gently flex around over, roll back through the foot, double up, control the down, pointy point, flex over, come back through. One more time on each side, all the while maintaining that rib cage on top of the hips or that bowl of punch. Last time, light ab brace, but breathing underneath that shield, rolling over. This time we'll go up, we'll switch again, but we'll add a knee bend. So once that leg lands, we'll bend the knee. A light tip of the hips, making room for that femur, and then double up, control the down, knee towards over toe, hips sit back, press through to tall, double up, control the down, knee bend, sit back. One last time on the other leg. Soft landing, knee towards over toe. Let's stay down here. Peel both heels up off the floor. Hold, press back up, stick it, and then control the down. Before we go to the floor, let's turn those legs open. So gently externally rotating in the hips, inseams forward. And let's repeat that again, but from this position. So up, then double up, and down. So again, just marching through the feet. We'll land this time, and then we'll do our toe point. Hip stays extended as we roll over the toes. Back to that demi, double up, and other side. Butt cheek squeezed, turned out lightly at the hip, back through the toes, double up, we'll land, and then bend the knees towards over the toes. Press to tall, push down to go up, land, knee towards over toe, trying to create a diamond shape there. Up, switch. These ballerina legs take a lot of work to keep that turnout. One last time on the other side. And then we'll stay here as we did. Peel double up, push, push, push tall, control heels to the floor. Give that a little shake out. Awesome. And then let's make our way to the floor. Warm up those wrists before we do our first plank. To get there, we're going to forward fold. So blades are lightly retracted, chin starts tucking. Then it's that C-spine or the neck. Then it's that rib cage that tries to roll. Can you keep your blades together as you roll through all of your vertebrae? Belly button's pulled in, weight is shifted lightly forward to keep the hips extended. Take your time, come to your forward fold, then let your arms dangle, and walk yourself out, gently finding your knees down, and then your hands onto the floor. With those hands spread out just like you did on your toes, rotate the elbow pits forward, pack your shoulders out of your ears, and gently pull, drifting shoulders towards over fingertips. Then use your fingers to press yourself back. Let's do that 2 more times. As we pull forward, check in with your abs. Are you really slumped to your tailbone to the ceiling? Are you really tucked under like that angry cat? Let's be somewhat in the middle where we have an active core as we're gently pushing our shoulders towards over our fingers. This time we'll press back, we'll peel the palms up off the floor, and then flick the floor away. Let's take a little split break, and then come back to those abs.
Splits, that's my cue to sit tall on the tailbone or those sit bones here. Don't sit on your tailbone. Instead, cow tip to take your tailbone to the back, actually. We'll be using the ballet points in a moment, but right now do those karate ankles or dorsiflex. And take a big breath. And from here, keep your spine long with a nice gentle chin tuck as you extend that chest or T-spine forward, and then just easy effort back up to that tall neutral position in the middle. Casually add a rotation, sternum or chest bone looking towards your big toe. And with those spotters or outriggers out to the side, just do a little casual lean there as well. And then back up to tall, and then square up. Then continue the rotation to the other side. And same effort, stay nice and long here through the spine. You might not get as far, but it's more of a nice, gentle acclimation to that position. And then back up to square. And let's find that middle one more time. Reaching forward, nice little chin tuck. Again, that active core versus that contorted big stretch into a nice pose. And then like Lauren there, maybe just shift some weight side side, take a big breath, and with patience again, return yourself back up to that tall position. We'll take the legs here, we'll plie them, we'll stretch them, we'll straighten them. But before that, I'm sure we'll do more with Lauren.
Let's get to that plank position, because as we know, when we press, we have to have that strong foundation similar to the plank, just the other way against gravity. So let's tuck our toes back, lift our hips up in line with our shoulders, pull our shoulders out of our ears, and now run through the checklist. Are your legs nice and tight with tension? Are your butt cheeks squeezed? Shoulders pulled out of your ears? Abs braced like the Ninja Turtles on the front, but breathing underneath that shield. Hold tight. Without moving, pull your hands towards your knees or your hips for 5, 3, 2, let's lift the hips up. Either feet walk to hands or hands walk to feet. But then let's stack ourselves up, uncurling. So chin tucks. Pull that belly button in. Stacking vertebrae, 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 head.
We're back up tall. Well, let's warm up with those kettlebells. We've checked in with your body weight. How are you feeling? Hopefully it's great. And if it is, like and subscribe this video. And if not, maybe do that at the very end. But Lauren here will be using a club as we get into some pressing. But right now, can we test ourselves under load with our kettlebells?
So we'll first explore that rack position, and maybe this is the position you stay in today, or we press out of it. So let's get there now. Using your hip hinge, standing right over top of the bell, 2 hands on, a 1, a 2, zip up your jacket and punch for that kettlebell. Let's check in first. We have a vertical forearm, a nice straight wrist, a slightly elevated and retracted shoulder, but then pack into that lat. I like to say you're juicing an orange into that armpit lightly, just like our plank tension. Push down, tighten your legs, squeeze your butt cheeks, brace your abs for 3, 2, 2 hands on, tight to the body, hip hinge, down, up, shake, second side, hinge, grip, pull to rack. Again, vertical forearm, ribs to hips, pushing down and out on the floor. That strong base to press out of for another 5 seconds. We have a nice straight wrist. Don't let that bell pull you over. 3, 2 hands on, place down, shake it out. We'll come back to our first set of presses after the bar.
The bar, here we are at the bar. And let's work from that turned out position. So heels stay pivoted, lightly pivoting on the heels, or a nice strict way to do it like Lauren there. And then let's take that outside leg to the front with a point. Then we'll turn in on that hip. Internal rotation, knee facing the middle. Then do the external rotation or knee towards the middle of the room here for us. And let's do one more turning in on that hip, and then finish with that nice turnout. Then utilizing that turnout, take it towards the side. Same effort. Stand tall on that standing leg of ours, and then turn in on that lateral facing leg, and then turn out, keeping the hips facing forward. Repeat again a turn in, keep the knee straight, it's likely to want to bend, and then a turn out, again, showing that inseam forward. Keep that inseam forward again as we take that leg to the back. Then let's take it all the way back through that first position underneath the hips to the front, and then lastly to the back. So brush that leg to the back, then turn out of that hip socket from the back to the side, and the side to the front. The hips go forward to bring the leg under, and then our first balance of the day at that ankle position. The standing leg cramped, the bent knee reaching away from the side, all the while pushing the hips forward, keeping the ribs over the hips, maintaining your breathing composure, and then return back to a strong position underneath, and then shake and wiggle and switch to the other side. Lauren's strict way, the awesome way to find that first position of the turnout is to take a leg forward, turn out in the hip, bring it under. Same thing on the other side. Now that's probably a smaller turnout than what you might have if you just could step into it, but work with what's going on in the hips naturally and gently push those boundaries. So we take that leg to the front in a turned out position. Then we'll do the turn in, keeping the knee straight and focusing on keeping the other hip forward. Then our turn out. Repeat our turn in. Let's do that one more time of an out and in, and then a finish out, and then take it from the front towards that side or second position. Are you on that standing leg? Now turn in on the hip, and then turn out, keeping the hip forward. Repeat again to turn in, and then just one last time, turn out. Then utilize that turn out to emphasize that ballet shape to the back, and then heel leads forward, finish with the toe point, and then the hips go forward, and the leg goes back, and we turn out like a key in a lock from the back to the side and the side to the front. It's same cue, hips forward, leg back. When the heels touch, just pull up to the ankle and point those toes. We're on a single leg with a lot of weight on the front of the foot, almost that you could put a piece of paper underneath of the heel, and with control, return to that first position, a little bit of a shakeout, and onto the press.
All right, it's press number 1 today, and we said our rep scheme was 1, 2, 3. Let's get set number 1 in with 1 press on each side. So we'll use our hinge. We'll pull our bell, our club, or whatever apparatus it is to the rack position. Either you stay or press that bell overhead, and then nice controlled pull down with the lat, pause in the rack, 2 hands on, bell goes down. Shake it out, same thing other side. Pull to the rack position, and press, use your breath, use your off arm strength overhead, and then engage lat as you pull that bell back down. 2 hands, hingey hinge, place down, come back for 2 in a second.
Excellent.
Or 2.
2. And some fondues to come up as well. So we can't always stick with the rhymes. So let's come back to that in a second. But here we are in that casually turned out first position. Lauren warmed us up with the plié. So let's do that first. So that's a squat, knee bend. Then take that outside leg and reach it forward. Land toe ball heel. And now press off that back leg to transfer weight to the front. Then land toe ball heel with the back leg, push front, and assemble the feet back together. Repeating to the side. Knee bends over toes. Leg to the side. Push to your balance aid to get off of that leg. Land toe ball heel. Push away from the bar to pull back to it. Then the same thing to the back with a leg straight out back and transfer weight to that back leg. Then land on that front foot and push out the back, returning underneath. And one last time to the side. Knee bends over toes. Weight transfer. Point, just hover that leg off the ground, then land toe ball heel, and then return the feet together, pull up to the ankle, and then again, Lauren warmed us up on those balls of feet. With some practice and some light touch on the bar, can we hold that low rise for time, and then with control, return to 2 feet, and again, the shakes and wiggles are always most welcome. Same thing, going to the other side. So we're in our honest turned out position down low, our knee bend, outside leg toe ball heel, and point out the back and keep the leg there. Then land toe ball heel, point forward, return the heels together. Plie or knee bend, reach the leg to the side, push away, just hover the foot off the floor, land toe ball heel, and push to return. It's out the back, stretch, toe ball heel, transfer weight, land toe ball heel in the front, and then point out the back to return, and to the side for one more time. There we go. Now push away, cramp that standing leg, and I'll push towards Lauren to move away from her and pull back underneath. And then pulling up to the ankle. The toes are pointed, the knee is side, the hips are forward, the ribs are over, and we're breathing. Then we drive down, drilling those toes into the floor to rise up, and then returning back down to that first position underneath the hips. Lauren said it's 2 time, let's do it.
All right, set number 2, up to 2 presses here. Here we go. We're going to hip hinge. Bring our bell to that rack position, and up, 1 press overhead, inhale, pull down. Hup, 2 press overhead, inhale, pull down, 2 hands on, park bell, shake it out, boom, boom.
Nice.
Same thing other side. Hip hinge, pull to rack, zip up, hup, press bell overhead, inhale, pull down. Tight abs, tight cheeks, press overhead, inhale, pull down, 2 hands on, place. Whoo, feeling strong.
Yes. Whether it's a kettlebell, that wood club, fill in your ranges of motion with that strength, and always make sure it's okay to come back home. I am looking forward to Lauren using that kettlebell. It doesn't have to be today, so take your time as you get used to some of these patterns. And until then, just pump up.
Pump up.
Your dance moves or pump up in the pretend kind of way. Here we are though, back at the bar, and it's time for that fondue exercise. So here we then are in our first position. And the knees bend together as you find a single leg balance, and then stretch out front, straight legs both. The knees bend together to the ankle, and then out to the side. Now find the back of the ankle, and a full stretch of the leg out to the back, and then one more time to the side, and a full stretch. Let's do that one more time today on a flat foot. So knees over toes, and point forward. And then knees over toes again, and reach to the side. Whew. Light tension on the bar, maybe even none at all, and really hold that strength. And then knees over toes, out to the side. Then pull the knee up a little higher, and we'll find that flat foot balance in that passe or knee position. And it's the same cues. Push down on that standing leg, cramp the butt cheeks, ribs over hips, knees pointing to your lovely training assistant at the side, and then with control, return to 2 feet. And shake. We'll get on those tippy toes a little bit later, I'm sure, but today just go 2 rounds of that fondue on flat feet. So we pull up to the ankle with knees bending, and then knees straightening out front. Knees bend out the side, and they point out the side. Knees continue to bend, straighten out the back, find the back of the ankle, and then return it to the side. The front ankle, we'll stretch it out front, the ankle again, and reach it outside with nice straight knees. It's that final time to the back, project energy going forward through the hips, come down, one more time to the side, and then lift the knee higher as allowed towards the safest, highest passe or knee position as we can. And I'm pushing that standing hip forward, pointing my knee to the side, toes to the ground, and I'm going through that checklist. So for our ballet lesson tomorrow, will be prima style, or at least up here we will be.
All right, set number 3 of presses. We are doing 3 presses.
3 presses.
Somehow I can't remember numbers today, I apologize. 3 presses, here we go, or a number that's less than 3. Use your hinge, grip the bell, pull to rack, tight, overhead, inhale, pull down. Use your hup to get that bell overhead, inhale, pull down, hup, overhead, pull down. Now, we do like those low reps on our presses instead of all of those reps. Why? Well, typically we're using that heavier bell. So that 1 to 5 presses, we're trying to lift heavier and less versus not as much weight and more. Try it out sometime. Ease into your heavy weight though. Same thing other side. Pull to that rack position. Up, 1, inhale down. Up, 2, inhale down. Last one, up, 3, pull down, 2 hands on, place it down. Over this semester, we're gradually adding those reps, working towards the 5 by 5. Stay tuned for more.
Stay tuned for more. And until then, it's back to that first position underneath. How we doing, Lauren? Ready to rock?
Always.
Okay. So from here, attitude holds in the front and the back, and a balance hold by the end. So on a flat foot, pull up to that knee position. That attitude hold out front is a slightly bent knee, the foot in line with your belly button, and maintain that turnout on the standing leg, pushing the hip forward. Return it to that passe or knee position, and then it's the same idea, but reaching out the back. The knee stays up or turned out from the hip as allowed, the hip is forward, slight bend in the knee out the back, and let's pull it back to the knee position. Repeat one more time out to the front, and hold. The slight knee bend is a little bit easier, we'll straighten it out later, don't you worry, but then come back to that passe or knee position, Reach it out the back and maybe even integrate a nice lovely arm out the front. And then for the last time here today, or at least right now, find that passe knee position, hands in first or on the bar, and then find that releve or balance on those demi points. Oh, that calf's a little bit tired today, but we're working with it. And then return to that first position with control. That got me a little bit more sweaty than any of those presses. That time under tension, shake it out in between, knock those knees together, but we do like to have that turned out action on the hip as we do these moves. So we'll pull up to the ankle and then continue to the knee. Unfold that leg as you reach forward, slight bend, but make sure that's still turned out, and then to the knee or the passe. Then out the back, it's the same thing. Try to keep that knee high, safely fire your butt cheek here, not your back. Make sure the tension's in your butt, and then back to the passe knee, and one more time to the front. Reaching it, holding it, cramping the turnout of the standing leg, and then that gesturing leg reaches back, slight bend in the knee, hold for a second longer, and then find that front of the knee passe position, focus ahead, find your balance here, always keeping the balance and those ribs over the hips. And then return to 2 points, return to the floor, shake it out. Presses one, presses one.
We're back to the number one. 1, 2, 3 again. Let's start at number one. Hip hinge, pull to rack, tight body, up, overhead, inhale, pull down, 2 hands on, park bell. Always stand up in between, give a little shake, same thing other side. Inhale to pull to rack, have that breath in so you can up, inhale down, 2 hands on. Please sit down, stand up without.
All right, we said there'd be opportunity to straighten those knees out front, and this is our time to shine.
Time to shine.
Start in that first position, nice and tall. We'll do that Tendu exercise, which is a point out front first. So let's do that together. From here the next time, we're going to lift our leg up and put it back down. We'll lift it up, we'll put it back down. Then on the third one, we're going to lift it up and hold it up there for our count of 4 seconds. Make sense?
Kind of.
Okay, we'll do it together and hopefully it comes to our minds as we do. Okay, here we go. So point to the front, Tendu. Take a breath in and up and then right back down.
All the way up.
We're doing that one more time like that, up.
All the way up.
And then back down. And now up and hold for 4. Up, hold for 4. 3, 2, tap it down, push the hip forward to bring the leg back. We're going to try the same thing out to the side. So Tendu or point out to the side. Take a breath and up and down. And then up and down. And for our last one, up and hold for 2, 1, down, and heels together. One more time, each direction. So really, 6 more total reps. Tendu point out front. We'll go up and down, and up and hold for 4, 3, 2, tap down, point out to the side. Same thing. It goes up and down, down, up, and up, and up, and up, and tap, and close, and scratch it, or wiggle it.
I hope nobody can zoom into what my face just did.
Confuse that signal a little bit. We do hope it's intense, but safe. Feel the difference between lifting from that hip flexor with a very active but quiet core and lifting from all these other jumbly places. Feel the difference, see the difference, find the way to do it harder. It's probably the way we're looking for today.
Where do we want to lift from?
Hip flexor, here on the inside, avoiding the side bend lift. Okay, so here we are in our first position. It's that touch or Tendu out front, and it's a quick up and a down. It's a quick up and a down, and it's an up and a hold. 2, 1, repeat to the side. Tendu side, 3, 2, 1, up and a down. It goes up and down, and then up and hold, and hold. Second longer, tap, close. One more time in the front.
Do test your balance, just make sure you're not leaning too much on that bar.
Great answer, light touch on the bar. Great comment. So it goes up like Lauren and down. Then it goes up again and down, and this time it's up and hold.
Goodness.
Think higher, tap together.
I don't know what's happening.
Final time to the side. It goes out to the side. Are you on that standing leg? We go up and down. We go up and down, and this one is a hold. It goes up, and we hold, and we hold, tap, close, and maybe these presses are easier after something so sinister like that.
Yeah, give me a kettlebell any day. Enough of this body weight. All right. 2 presses each side. Same tension techniques. It's a hinge. It's a pull to rack. Tighty tight, huppity hup. Inhale on the down. Tight abs, tight cheeks. Drive through that bell. 2 hands on. Place the bell down. Shake it out. Wipe your brow. Same thing other side. Hip hinge. Pull to rack. Whoops, sorry, weird thumb. Pull to rack. Hup. Press. Pull down. Drive through that pinky as you press the bell to overhead. Good. Pull it down. Park. I think sometimes that voice or that enunciation helps you feel that press.
Feel the power of that press. We're done on that bar.
Oh.
So let's clear our space just a little bit, but we do hope to use those kettlebells, so keep them handy here. And we'll finish today's practice in that center-inspired movement with some weight transfers in the middle here.
Do we have one more set of 3s?
We do.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, keep it handy.
Keep it handy. Keep it handy.
Clear some room here.
All right.
Okay.
Just scoot
Lauren
it over.
shared with us a great balance last week. If I put her on the spot, can we do a similar movement as awesome as last time?
Probably.
Good. Let's do it.
All right, I like to stand in that turned out position. Let's do everything on straight legs first, and then we'll do it all again on bent legs. It'll be a great time. Let's pick a leg. Point the other leg straight to the front. Then do a little rond. Hips, pelvis stay facing forward. Point to the side. Lift it a little bit, test your balance. Straight leg underneath. Repeat on the other side. There'll be a transfer, but we're still staying stacked. Point front. Keep the hips forward. Side. Straight leg back under. Let's do it again, but a little higher off the floor. Point to the front. Lift about 45. Reach out of the socket as you draw that circle to the side. Keep the hips forward. Then bring it back. Hold for a second. Straight leg back under. Other side. Reach to the front. Lift 45. The leg pulls into the socket. I know I'm saying reach away, but as that leg comes back to the front, the femur has to compress in the joint, and then straight leg back underneath. Now, let's do the same thing, but on a bent leg. So we'll pull ourselves down. We'll take one leg to the front. We'll do it first low again, so low. Hips stay stationary. The only thing that should be moving right now is that leg in the socket. Core is solid. Bend, bring it under. Let's stay on a plie and switch legs. Point to the front. Everything is stationary. Leg opens, inseam forward, turned out. As it comes to the front, the inseam is still forward. Keep it bent, bring it underneath. Second time through, 45 or just off the floor. That's really where it's pulled in. Then it stays hips forward. Reach, hold for an extra second. Bring it back to the front. Tap it down. Bent knees to return to the front. Lift off the floor. Reach out of the socket. Reach long. Bring it back. Tap it down. Under. Now let's roll up. Hold a bent leg balance, heels off the floor. Keep the heels as high as you can as you stretch your knees to the straightest knees possible. Then rebend the knees. Heels down. Press to tall. I realized halfway through that wasn't really a weight transfer. It was more of a leg hold.
It works. It works.
There was some transfer there.
Use our bar, get away from the bar, and let's get back to that kettlebell. So we'll move that just a little bit away, get ourselves set up for our last set of presses here today. And Lauren, what's the number?
Let's do anywhere from 3 to 5, depending on you and your body. Last set each arm. Make sure your last press is still positive, meaning it goes all the way up overhead. Here we go. It's a hip hinge, pull to rack. 3 to 5 presses. You're still practicing that tension technique. So feet are rooted, kneecaps are pulled up, butt cheeks are squeezed, abs are still braced, and you're driving through that baby finger. Once the bell's back to that rack position after 3 to 5, place it down. Whew, stand up without.
Ooh.
My cadence is a little off with this slightly lighter bell. Sorry about that.
All good.
Take your time. Get your power back. Same number, second side. Hip hinge. pull to rack. Again, 3 to 5 presses. Still driving through the pinky, keeping the abs braced, finding a nice stance, your preference. Last 2, vertical forearm the whole time. 1 or so more reps. Bell goes down with your hinge when you're done. And up with out.
Got it. Got it. So we're continuing this week to chase those 1,000 subs. So if you haven't subbed yet,
so close.
or
Ish.
just hit the subscribe or that like button, or share with a friend or family member, or
use all your
keep it on-
email addresses.
or keep it on in the background at work and check in with it too. Little bits of a hip wiggle there, some tension with the shoulders with the press can go a long way just to help you feel active and engaged at your workstation or through the workday, wherever you are. So today, being Thursday, bars and bells, presses, plies. We've done that. You're here. You know that. What comes up next?
On Saturday, we'll play with our body weight, meaning we'll roll, we'll crawl, and we'll explore some upside down towards the handstand position. Next week, it all starts again on Tuesday with the kettlebell class. Check out our website, check out our YouTube and our Patreon page. Like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.
Stay strong.
And let's train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So many zeros.